My name is Brenda Bates, Medicine Woman, and this is Medicine Woman Reveal. With me is
Jen Toffel, Medicine Woman.
and with me is
Scott Bates, not a medicine woman.
no, he doesn't have his equipment. Okay.
I got my own equipment, thank you.
Yep. So Scott, if you want to turn that light on, it'd be great over there. So we had an interesting night. We were watching TV, and you know how a 2-liter of pop is got the liquid in it, and it was sitting on a wooden stand. Nothing really bothering it.
2-liter bottle.
And the Christmas lights are on across the room, so when you're sitting there, you can look and you gaze on the liquid surface, and you can see the Christmas lights.
See the reflection of the lights. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And that's not the big surprise. The big surprise is my husband says, "Hey, look in there and tell me what you see." And I'm watching these little jitteries, and he says, "Do you see a pattern?" And I says, "Well, I see ripples." He says, No, look, see if you see a pattern." I'm looking, and then he goes, wait, watch. And then everything went still. It was clear.
It was totally calm, the bottle.
I'm like, oh. He says, "Now watch." So he takes and does his thing, and the next thing you know, you do start to see a particular pattern. I said, "Oh, how's that happening?" Now you tell.
Well, all I do, as I was sitting there watching TV, my leg, I was leaning against a little end of the table.
Not much, just enough.
I had my leg resting on it, and this
the
pop reflection was my heartbeat.
But his knee was just leaning against it. It's not like he had his foot on the
No,
stand.
that was so weird. How can that? I've been watching my heartbeat flicker on the top of this sensitive liquid surface on a nearly full 2-liter bottle of soda.
I thought that was cool because normally you can look and see how frequencies and sounds create the sand or other little things to create shapes. In this case,
and it's a hard thing, I touch my knee and I never feel my pulse really.
when it was going through the surface of the wood, and it was just a little bit of his knee
just
touching.
enough of a harmonic thing there, and it was just strange.
Strange. It's awesome.
Kind of cool.
Okay, so we had an awesome show today too. We talked about many things, and now it's what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, we're always wonderful to have callers, and for those that are listening, if you'd like to call in, it's what, Jen?
989-945-0287.
Yep, and if you call in, then we will go ahead and give you a reading, or you can say, "My life is kind of crappy. Can you tell me why?" And we usually can trace the energy back to what is the main cause. Now, my belief systems about what the ego is way different than some. But my thinking has been, maybe I should, and that is, I should go ahead and just say, "Hey, it's the ego show." I wonder how many people would tune in just because of the word ego. Because we go and we describe the electromagnetic guiding omni-apparition. We say this is the projection, and this is, because of this projection, we're able to look at the entanglement cords that's coming from you, and your inner world creates your outer world. So I'm trying to find the right words that I'd like to draw more people in, or get more people interested into learning and wanting to move beyond their issues, their life, their health. Because people don't realize it's the programs, we got one caller right now. So let's see.
Okay, let's see.
And
Hello, Medicine Women Review.
Hello.
You're on the air.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
And how can we help you?
My name is Anik, and unfortunately I couldn't get the radio part to work today. I'm having some computer problems, but I've been following y'all on Facebook for quite a while and absolutely love the healing tools that y'all have to offer. And I'm just finding that lately the energy's just really been intense, especially in the field, in my career and money areas. And was wondering if y'all had any wisdom to share.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to have you focus on the way you know the career and money issues, and we'll break it down from there. So you're going to be drawing cards. You're going to draw cards, and I'm just going to go money issues. Well, it doesn't look like you're really picking up too much energy from the group consciousness, except for the fact you're following along the pattern that you have to be expected that this is a money crunch. So you're not really being following emotional wise, which is a good thing. But at the same time, we'll see, why is there a money crunch? Why is there this particular pattern? And it is, well, what they call following along with the crowd. It's like you have to have a certain amount of guilt for having too much, or you have to have, well, I'm going to look at this because it's a particular phrase, and this is where then I would say it probably comes from an inherited site. T. Harv Eker talks about how we learn our money blueprint from our family about how they handled money, whether they had it or they didn't. It doesn't always affect everybody, but majority of the time you have a money blueprint.
Yes.
Ah, she's got a giggle. That's good. Okay. So there's a part of that is what's playing in it. Now Jen drew some cards. What do you have?
Okay, well, the first card I got was the Death card. And the Death card means that there's transformation. And maybe that's what you're picking up as far as group consciousness goes. Now, you said you weren't, I think, really tapping in, or that it was kind of affecting. I can't remember. But you see the idea that you can transform. You don't have to buy into, and the next card I got was restriction, but it's reversed. So you're not buying into the idea of traditional restrictions as far as the economy goes, how that's impacting you, and that kind of thing. And then I got the Queen, which is woman, fertility, feminine power, sexuality, and friendships. But it was reversed, and I think that maybe you might be tapping into that, may be what's on the horizon, because the Yang energy has really been in charge of the economy as far as the power, who's in charge, how things are dictated, and now it's time for it to come back into balance. And I would say that that perhaps is what needs to transform, that you may be kind of like a shaman in your own world as far as saying, well, now let's go see what Yin has to offer as far as that goes.
Because we're moving into the energy of that the Yin energy is becoming more present, where the male energy is learning to accept, synergize, and become united with it. But there are still those belief structures and decisions that created the reality that we're in that have to be broken down. And the only way to really break them down is to change the inner world so that you don't have to produce the same kind of results. Now, does that make sense of what she said?
It absolutely does. I definitely feel a struggle within the own, opening up my own feminine and tapping into that more deeply. But I think that sense of detachment, that I'm not feeling it emotionally, it kind of creeps me out, because I'm like, I think I'm supposed to be upset right now. But then I look at my bank account and I'm like, now wait a minute, so that makes total sense, where it's like I'm witnessing it, and definitely with that changing and shifting of that energy.
Good.
That makes total sense.
Okay, now Scott also drew a card, and go ahead.
It's the commitment card, but it's reversed, so it says, let's see, you may be walking into a commitment or contract you will later regret. This isn't a good time to sign agreements or make any choice that would tie you up for a long period. If you're in a relationship, you may not receive the commitment you desire. Don't despair, for something much better awaits you. Now is also the time for agreements to be broken. Remember that rejection is God's protection. What hurts you now leads to wisdom later.
Okay, so now what I'm seeing, again, there's this pattern that she needs to change out, and that she's not supposed to be committed to that pattern, the old pattern. She can actually learn to release it. So when you start to see yourself repeating patterns that says, oh, I don't have anything, understand that's lack, and that's the one part of your brain that's trying to logically explain the feeling, the nature of all the energies you can't see. You can actually literally use the meridian tools to tap that. Say, even though I feel like I have lack, see, and it could be just a thinking, it could be feeling, or just seeing, because it is a sight thing. Now let me look and see about that sensory system. Go ahead, Jen.
So,
it is a sight thing.
Do you have the ability to manifest, to just have things given to you using your femininity, to be able to receive things?
I'm getting better at that.
Good.
Okay, so I felt like I needed to share, so I had that in my life prior to my marriage, and in that relationship, that I could manifest, I could receive, and it wasn't just going out deliberately saying, I'm going to go use my feminine wiles and see what I can get today. It was being in touch with that ability. Oh, I can receive. Oh, wait a minute, that's really something of the feminine nature. Now my ex would throw a hissy fit and say, you didn't earn that. And that was a downplay of the feminine. And so maybe that, when it was reversed, I was thinking that maybe that might be something that needs to transist out. Also that it's okay, that really is part of the figure eight, the infinity symbol of what Brenda often says is the passing of the baton. It is a handoff, energy exchange between the yin and the yang. And I'm tapping back into that, and it's okay.
So basically, you're in a good spot. Financial-wise, it may not look like, but you are. You're very much aware. And all you have to do is make sure that when a program comes up and you're like talking lack, go tap it out. You don't need that to be the attraction factor so that you can call in the hell, so you can walk around like everybody else and go, oh my God, I got a story that can top that. I couldn't pay my bills this month. You know, you're so done playing that game.
Or that I'm part of the 47%, or I'm part of the 98%, or all of that. Where I am observing that, and I support the idea that those systems need to transfer out. They need to shift out. I don't have to buy into, oh, I'm going to put that label on myself, but I'm in the observer mode of saying, oh, this is absolutely fascinating to watch as part of our culture.
So the part of you is at the end of the. So you kind of woke up, you started noticing some patterns, you weren't going to fall for it. Now your soul is asking you just to take action so that you can really move forward and know that you can just stand there and all of a sudden somebody will turn to you and go, oh, would you like my space in line? And you're like, why thank you. You don't have to say no. You don't have to do that denigration in your head. You don't have to say, oh God, what's wrong with me? What makes me, people be nice to me? There's nothing wrong with you. It is getting back to the way we communicated with yin and yang. And so just start learning to say thank you, because the universe wants you to train yourself to start seeing how it's handing you things. You can even use the golden lasso healing tool to pull in and saying thank you for helping me manifest every day. Thank you for the money to pay the bills. Thank you for the wealth. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. So when you say, oh my God, I don't have money, you can say clear, 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 and say thank you for the wealth. Thank you for the money to do this. And you can learn to train your language, and the universe will then start showing you. So then when the universe says, oh, here, you just want a free trip, you can then, get all excited, because that's what creates reality more, is through the emotion. But you also will then turn around and start witnessing, and other people may say, oh, that's bragging. Don't listen to that anymore. That's the old paradigm. Just witness and say, oh my God, because I believe this way, or I've done this, then I actually saw the universe hand this to me, so now I want to say thank you. So you're going to learn to witness to yourself, whether it's writing in a diary, talking to a friend, posting on Facebook, whatever it is, but you are learning to help be the catalog so other people come along and saying, I want what she's having. Okay?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
And also, now I'm not somebody that plays chess, but this came into my view in the past week, is that in chess, is the queen protects the king?
It's the most powerful piece,
yeah. So that's something that's really not advertised.
That is true, it's not.
But you got the queen card, and that's awesome. And so and what I've been observing in the past week or two is, in my world, some things are shifting as far as observing masculine and feminine power, and the war of the sexes and that kind of thing, but taking on a different view. But that you don't have to be an angry female to stand in your authenticity, to have that power. You can stand guard and say, that on that chessboard, wait a minute, this is my role, this is what I'm standing in this authenticity, and I can do this. And that in and of itself is powerful.
Yin is about that self-love. So we're learning to create this self-love within ourselves, which projects out so that finally the yang, which is the Christ consciousness, you can actually shift the consciousness from the old way into a new, healthier love way. So, no pressure. Just allow your... So just allow yourself to just stand in your authenticity, heal away all the hells, all the over-identities that tell you you have to behave this way. You know, sometimes we walk in it, we relish in it, and we roll in it, but remember, it's like a pig in mud. It depends on if you really want to get dirty, if you don't care. But I feel like you're at the stage of, I'm different than everybody, and don't be ashamed of it. You're starting to pull away, and you may zig and zag out of friendships or just pull in like-minded people, but either way, you're breaking free from the matrix of how they, set standard of how you're supposed to create reality. Because you're changing, and that's good. Amen. Keep doing it.
Yeah, that's very good to hear.
Well, I hope that answers it, but before you go, I'm going to look at it. Part of the finances is will it increase? Yes, if you allow yourself to train yourself synchronistically to see, thank you for the money, thank you for the food, thank you for this, and then you're going to see little opportunities from little pennies to free dinners to all of a sudden money will just start to come in. Opportunities, now this is where you have to be a little careful because most people will go, oh, I wish I had more money, and then all of a sudden something will come along and it's an opportunity to make money. Now some of them are quite boring. Some of them you don't need to do, but then there are some that says, oh my God, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. So getting used to Spirit handing you stuff, you get to pick and choose the options, but don't keep telling the universe no, because it'll then say, I'm confused. You asked for money and you're telling me no. It reminds me of when I've sat there and used the golden lasso, asked for like-minded people. This woman kept calling me and asking me to come over and hang at her house. I'm thinking, what the heck's this woman want? Spirit donked me on the head and says, you prayed for friends. Hello? You know, and then I realized, oh, duh. I keep telling the universe, no, send me somebody else. No, this was a perfect person for me. So, just remember, don't say no too many times. The universe is going to get confused.
Sure, that makes total sense.
Okay.
Great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for calling in, dear.
Thank you for the support.
Yep, and check in some other time with us, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.
We love all these little things. Time for a break. And yes, we are, and I love the fact that we're back. So guess what? We have another call. Woo! Okay, go for it.
Hello, you're on the air with Medicine Woman Reveal.
Hello.
Hello.
You know, I have to laugh because we were I was editing the Friday video, and Scott sticks his face in the camera and does a few little strange things. So
You cut that out, right?
No, I said, this is for Kimberly.
I'm not uploading that.
Oh, no, I will.
Yeah, it can go on my Google Chrome.
So anyways, we have a little surprise there for you, because it's hilarious to watch.
We were just watching, I said, oh, Kimberly will like that.
Yeah, his little face comes creeping in and creeping out.
Oh, jeez.
You're adorable.
You're not supposed to.
Why is he always at the
You're always
embarrassing the husband? How can we help you, dear?
So, I was typing in the chat room earlier today. A little encounter that I had.
Yes.
And I just wondered if you guys could, I don't know, help me explore that a little bit.
Okay, so
See if we can come up with anything.
So let's let the listeners understand a little bit what had occurred. And I can't remember. All I know is I was in my own little space over here. Is that the one with the puppy dog came in the room with the energies of the flying across the room?
This was the third eye.
Yeah, but I know. But I was jumping into energies.
You were dumping into energies.
Yeah, I was probably doing that too. But okay. So, anyways, what happened to Kimberly?
You were doing a reading, and I was observing it.
Well, bring us up to speed, Kimberly, because I didn't get to hear this part.
Yeah.
All right, Scott. So here I am, minding my own business, sitting on the couch, right?
Mhm.
When this like energy force kind of like zooming towards me, right in the middle of my forehead.
Wow.
very, very, you know, very...
Nonchalantly said, here, bam, refresh.
Yeah, pretty much like a smack in the forehead that pushed my head back, and then I felt overwhelmingly like dizzy, like whoa, and I felt like my head rocked back forward, and then I just waited a second, and it all kind of went away, and I was fine after that. But it was heavy duty experience. I thought I was getting sick or something like that.
Okay, several things. I feel like an angel basically touched you in the forehead. But Scott, we just drew the card, the Talisman card, number 49, and Scott's going to read it.
Okay, Talisman. A lesson truly learned is crystallized as earned wisdom. You have all you need for success you seek. Speak tonight. It's Monday. I'm getting tongue-tied. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, wisdom allows you to recognize traps on the road and familiar patterns that you want to avoid. It also enables you to quickly gather information about where you are on your journey. It helps you recognize your allies and know how to find the best routes along the way. Now you're at a place where you know the right things to do and the best choices to make. You really can't commit a mistake. Whatever your inquiry, great fortune awaits you, for you have the wisdom to arrive at the right decision. You learned your lessons and earned the right to your success.
So what I see is that all of a sudden, as you had that tap, it was the opening up to see with another set of eyes, jokingly here, but what it is to see the perception of a pattern that you no longer need. And it's like where the women are finally waking up and hearing, and it's not, we don't want to blame men, you know, but the thing is that men will walk around and say, ha ha ha, and make jokes about women, and some of the jokes are very degrading. As you start to wake up, you go, hey, you know what, I don't like that, and stop it.
Was that aimed at me?
And of course, the man that's doing the joke has probably no clue that he really is aiming it on the women.
Trying to treat you like our friends.
Exactly.
That's what us guys do for each other. We insult each other all the time.
Exactly.
As my mom says, I'm not in the locker room.
Well, we're glad for that.
Please don't talk to me like I am. Yeah, then you may find out you're a shower grower. But anyway, what you're doing is looking at Scott's face.
Yeah, there was a look of confusion because I don't know what the hell you just said.
It was so subtle.
It was so subtle.
Never mind. I'm gonna.
Now, I don't know if Kim heard that or not, but if we're caught in the locker room, we would find out if men are showers or growers.
And she knows what we're talking
about. Do you have a clue what we're talking about?
Yeah, I got an idea now.
Yeah, you know, it's all that woman talk too. There.
Oh yeah, woman talk. Hee hee hee.
But
I just never heard that term before. Okay.
Anyways, as
out of the story, please.
As far as you're waking up to, there's a pattern. They keep showing me that a pattern of behavior. People treat you a certain way, and you're like, "Oh, I'm so done with that." And you're literally going to be able to have the strength to stand up and walk away. This reminds me of when I started to wake up that way. You know, they download you with a little bit of information, and my husband and I were blah, 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 and then it turned into a little fight, and then all of a sudden, I realized I didn't have to participate. So I just said, oh. So I said, if I said this, would it even matter? Nope. And I said this, it didn't matter. I says, you know what, I will actually come back later when, you know, just have the conversation without me, that's fine. So I just walked off, because I knew that it didn't matter. Like yesterday, I was in an alternative universe, and I'm like, seriously, I woke up into it, and I knew that really didn't matter what I was going to say, but I didn't really want to mess up with that, you know, Brenda's alternative part, but it's just that it didn't matter, because they weren't going to see me, they were going to see the other Brenda. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, so
Right.
in this stage, you have woke up to the enlightenment, and you've been downloaded with a new program that your eyes are going to, the veil's lifted so you can see a little bit more and say, oh wow, I was doing that, oh please, and you just walk away. You're not going to have any struggles. I don't see any struggles whatsoever. You're going to be completely divinely guided and protected.
So there's no judgment on how you were in your life before. It's just all of a sudden, yeah, I don't need to do that.
Yeah, you're done. You're moved from that one stage. It isn't that you're better than anybody. It's just that you realize, oh, that's finished. Look, it's in my manual of living finished. So you get to erase it and be done with it and move along. And so the card that I didn't realize I was pulling cards, but now I pulled the card, and it's number 37, called Cleaning House Upside Down. Why do you hold on to things that remind you of the past? Is your house cluttered with objects that bring up unhappy memories? Do you have a tendency to attract broken people who need to be fixed? If you're involved in this type of emotional project, stop it! Stop right now and clean house. Being needed isn't going to get you what you really need. That said, even if you initially resist letting go of an excess physical or emotional baggage, you'll feel amazing afterwards. Let go and let the universe bring you something better. Make space. The universe doesn't like a vacuum, and will respond to your household by filling your home with what will best serve you. I still don't understand that statement.
I don't understand it
Show me
either.
a
Every
It
time.
says the universe doesn't like a vacuum?
Yeah, nature abhors a vacuum. You've heard that expression
No,
before.
explain it.
Scientific, let me think.
Are you talking about the vacuum?
The vacuum of space. In other words, nature,
It sucks
it doesn't exist in
ABHR
a-
abhors a vacuum. Basically, it wants to fill it up with something.
Oh.
Nature doesn't want to leave
Makes
a
sense.
vacuum. It's got to put something there, whether it's air or whatever.
I love him.
I don't know.
That makes sense.
That's how I understand it. I might be wrong, but that's what I understand.
No. You're right.
So, and they're telling you, if you get rid of all your stuff, it's going to get shoved back in there somehow. It says,
That's what happened.
yeah.
See, she knows.
Right, matter exists whether you
the
see it or
universe
not.
doesn't like a vacuum and will respond to your house cleaning by filling your home with what will best serve you. In other words, get rid of the stuff that's all old and get rid of the unpleasant memories, and pleasant ones will flood in.
Yeah, see.
That's the way I understand
And
it.
what's nice is he didn't say anything about material. He said memories. And so what do you do with unpleasant memories? You heal them out so that you can file away the memories that are there, take all the positive learnings, get to be in that special place, and all of the dross can actually be just fallen away. So now we just got to find out what specific thing they're referring to. Because we can't just...
know.
Ooh, she knows. All
She
right,
knows.
hold it in your mind.
She's got a knowing.
Yep, that's it. You know what healing tool to use?
Okay.
Do you know what healing tool to use?
Oh, no, I thought you said something else where I was at.
All right, so if you think about all the stuff and thoughts and stuff that are there, one of the things they said that you could do is if you did hope therapy, it'd be R3S, because there's something about I can't figure it out to ups and down to how it becomes, the thinking becomes muddled or dull, the emotions can be unstable, or the room, chaos just seems to appear. That's the first step is the R3S, is just clearing out the thing that would trip you up from actually cleaning out those thoughts. Jen?
So I pulled the Earth Fairy card, which is physical health, grounding, and foundations, but it was reversed because I was asking, oh yeah, so what does she need to look at? And so it's the physical health, the grounding, the foundation, your physical. There's all the mental, emotional, spiritual, but now it's, okay, anything that's in physical form that needs to be cleaned out.
Okay. So now I have to look and see if there's anything, emotions that are trapped, and it said yes. And the kind is that it's just a regular trapped emotion, but it keeps tripping you. A specific age, yes, about 3. The trapped emotion is wishy-washy. So have you ever been wishy-washy?
Yep, 1,000 totally sure.
Okay, so the thing is wishy-washy is no longer served. I'm going to ask if we can clean this. It says yes. So with your permission, Jen will be able to, we'll roll out wishy-washy, and I want you to think really in depth about your wishy-washy. And, yep, she's got some good memories. So do we have permission to roll?
Can we roll on Scott?
Yeah. Okay, so Scott... All right.
Roll on me.
All right,
Okay.
so she'll come over, and Scott, I want you to think of her
Why don't you
connect.
explain to our
Yeah.
listeners what you're doing?
What I need you to do is to connect up with Kim.
I'm thinking Kimberly, yes.
Okay.
And maybe it's interesting that I felt like that we were going to do this, and then, so I wonder if it's about male energy or men,
Could be.
or to have some healthy healing male energy for Kimberly.
It could be, and I feel like yes on that. Now, some of you are wondering on the radio what's happening. Some of you will watch the video and say, I still can't see what she's doing. And what happens is we have magnets, and we use the motion code by Bradley Nelson. Alright, is this cleared out of her system? Alright, so hold on. It didn't clear. What do I need to know? Jealousy and wishy-washy. The reason she's wishy-washy is because somebody's jealous. Alright, so does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so now she's thinking about that. Scott will hook up, and Jen will, when Kim starts to, Scott's the surrogate, Kim's going to think about the emotions of it, and it'll come to the surface. And as it comes to the surface, Jen will roll down the spine, and that's where it'll start to release all of those trapped emotions. And Kim is open to receive this, and it literally, a little bit more. Because Kim has picked this up empathic-wise. There we go, it's cleared now. Okay, so this will help you. We can't really understand how or why because it'll be your life, but it can show up that the person that was jealous will somehow try to look like they're trying to hook into you, but then they'll leave and hook into somebody else. You won't really be affected by how this person is jealous, or people are jealous, because it won't matter anymore. You won't be having the attraction factor that'll pull it in. And with that gone, you should be able to not be so wishy-washy. You should be able to make a clear decision without having that jealousy to push you to thinking, uh-oh, I better not do it. Mm-hmm. So, now I got to double check. The attraction factor that would cause the jealous person, is it still there? No, okay, that's what I thought. But there's something else. Do you have a fear of being alone?
Yes.
Okay.
But not for reasons that most people would be afraid of.
Okay. And no matter how she defines it, it still affects her because when she was growing up, there was a rejection process that I could feel. And it was just, from a child's perspective, we never understand exactly how a child thinks. But the child can come up with some amazing stories and tell you some amazing things. And you're like, how'd you get that? Oh, that's how you got there? But never took that route. But as a child, I felt like if you continue to do good, then this love that this person so-called gave you, they were going to, I hate to say this, fakingly pretend like it was there. Reminds me of silver platter people. So have you drawn fake people in your life?
Well, it sounds like my mom.
Okay, so, well, it sounds like the connection of how you would normally communicate would be authentic, but in this case, you could feel the tendency. And that's what made it wishy-washy, made it confusing, because if you continue to still be good, happy, and joyful, and in this case, the way you received energy from people as far as how you could manifest, I really do feel like there's a jealousy.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so now that's another reason that it's like, wait a minute, I don't want to be alone. And this fear of being alone is something that you picked up and it's not even really yours. So this really makes it even harder. You picked it empathic-wise, and let's see, I'm asking if we can remove this out, and it says yes. So does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, so as you're thinking...
There's more to it, but it makes perfect sense.
Right, Scott, say yes so that we can...
Yes.
And then Kim, you say it's okay for her to roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now there is a lot more to the story, but they're saying that this emotion needs to come to the surface and be pulled out because it's interfering with some plans that you have of creating, I don't know, a job, a future, fun stuff, or hobby, but it's actually interferes. It's like you've been holding back for a while. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so hopefully if you clear this out, I will find out once it's clear. Then we will see. We're almost there. Ooh, I felt my eyes switch.
Switch?
Yeah, I don't know, I can't even say the word. Okay, so let me just double check. And is it still there? No. Okay. Now, and yes, thank you for helping all of you. So now we're going to look and address.
Can we take a break while we're still
Yes.
doing this?
Kim, can you hold on? And we'll be
Yeah.
back after this? Okay, we'll be right back.
Okay.
Hello. Okay, so now we're back. And Kim, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. So, because we just did that little magnetic cleansing and helping to her body to remove the trapped emotions, then the Wizard of Awareness came to the surface, and Scotty closed the book. Darn it.
Oh.
Anyway,
You
read
did have it
this
open.
one.
For a specific reason.
Okay, Wizard of Awareness. Your soul knows best. Be still and observe. Mindfulness is about being observant and remaining neutral about what goes on in the world around you. This applies to the environment within you too. If you struggle inside yourself, stepping into an observer position gives you a new, powerful perspective that neutralizes any discomfort or overexcitement. You have the capacity to see things clearly now, unencumbered by opinion or desire. Wearing the world as a loose garment requires you to adopt a sense that nothing that happens to you is personal. People come and go. Experiences evolve from one state to another in a continual shifting and change, no matter how much you want things to stay the same. The Wizard of Awareness asks you to give up your need to define or limit what you've been experiencing now. It's all good. Let it be. And watch the miracle unfold without any direct influence from you.
Okay, so you're going to open this one up. I drew another card, but what happened is that because we took the empath part off, the energy you picked up from someone else, and when that was rolled out, it created an awareness. Now they're asking you to pay attention to what the next thing that they would like you to notice, a pattern, a strategy, whatever it is. So the card that came up was Spark, but in reverse.
Oh, it's reversed? Okay. Spark, you are a clear channel for diverse creativity. Sometimes your fire gets doused by others who don't want you to be all that you can be. In that case, you need to move away from the water lest things get too damp. The spark card in reverse position may also indicate that you're allowing yourself to be so consumed by a thought, feeling, or situation that you're in danger of becoming completely burned out. Compulsion and impulsiveness must be tempered now. Rest by a warm fire. Let things die down a bit. Then you'll see if the true spark will still be there. If not, you can always light another fire at another time.
So it sounds like you've downloaded, we've cleared some stuff out, and now you just have to look at some of the thinking that had kept you trapped. And so it goes along with what we had told you at the beginning of the show. So when you don't have to wait for the beam of light and come smacking you in the third eye. You can automatically download. What I mean by that is that, like, if I know a big shift is going to happen with the other little things. My camera just quit. Just hold on.
It says record.
No, my camera just stopped.
Okay.
I'll talk about it. Scott, you're going to have to unplug, shut it off, start it on. So we're going to miss a few minutes of the video, but no big deal. But how do you download is very important, because
To receive that information almost feels like, that energetically when you like break an egg, it feels like that information is coming down onto your head. It's kind of cool, but it's a way to download.
meditation, deliberately choosing to meditate and downloading. A lot of people are afraid that when they download that, what if it's evil? Well, here's the thing. And the more you have the awareness, and if you have any fear, understand that's your relationship to the definition of what it is. Well, tap that out, heal it, change that entanglement cord, because it's not evil. It's just that that's the only way you're going to interpret it, and we need to remove that lens. Because your higher self, once you're using your intention, and just get hooked up to the higher self. And a lot of times one of the things I do is that I will just sit there until I am comfortable, have confidence, and I recognize and fine-tune to the higher self energy, is that I imagine and I call in St. Michael and I ask for the pillar of white light, and I actually feel like I'm in it. Then I feel like there's a ball of light right in front of me, my third eye, arm's length out, and then as soon as it builds up with the love of God, and then it's clear and concise, and I feel like the energy of the male and female is balanced, it comes right into my third eye. As it goes into the third eye, it opens the pineal gland, which then causes, what I found out earlier, was that it causes the corpus callosum, which is the communicator between the left brain and the right brain, and literally relaxes so that my left brain don't have to go, oh my God, this is wrong. You know, I won't have that rational, irrational thinking from the left brain. I won't have to. I can allow myself to just flow and understand, grab the details, understand that we're all one. And so imagine this beam of light, like I said, going to the third eye. But I also imagine it that the energy is, you can do this in several ways. Once it comes to the third eye, you can imagine opening up the top of your head and it comes straight out going to God. And then the energy comes back down to that point, the third eye point, and then back in. Then it also comes down to the heart. Okay, and then once the energy's in the heart from that point out there at arm's length, then it goes up through the fifth, back up to the sixth, illuminates that, and then goes up to the seventh, goes straight up. And you can go through and do that same project, the triangle method, all the way down through all your chakras. But just knowing that you're protected. Feel the tell sign when you call in St. Michael. I know when St. Michael is present because it's just a wash that's over me like a cloak, and I just feel protected. There's no thought pattern, fearness, or anything. Now, have you had your tell signs about when you call in St. Michael? I know your eyes glaze over, you yawn, you get spacey like that.
It's nice when your friends are able to know when you're spaced out.
Spirit-wise.
Spirit-wise. I was having a tell sign earlier this year. I haven't been using it as much, but maybe that's because I've been spiritually lazy. But it is...
Because you hasn't been disciplining yourself.
It's the, those chimes, some wind chimes, that it sounds like in one of my ears, to know that that information is there.
And what freaks her out is that against my desk, there is this wind chime.
I joke now.
And it's a small, little, tiny wind chime. And every time you accidentally hit the desk, you'll hear these little wind chimes. And one day,
I don't hear nothing.
And then one day she's sitting there and she goes, "Did you hear that?" And I started to giggle because actually I did hear that. The table did get bumped. And I said, "Do you like wind chimes?" Dang it. But it sounds just like that. So now I know what her wind chimes sound like. So pay attention to your fine tuning and listening. So you had the experience, and what's nice is that you felt it. Now, when it came in, did you feel frightened?
No.
You felt calm?
Yeah, I was very calm. I actually didn't even know what the heck was going on.
Ah. But again, if you were fearful or if there was anything else, you would have noticed the difference. But the light was refracting, and again, I feel like you've gained a lot of wisdom. And so, you know, if you have any problems about what it is that you need to start looking at, but I know you do. I know you know a lot of stuff already. Using the tools, tapping it out, and like I said, they said something about holding R3S and doing hope therapy, because that's going to help you, one, to take care of any shock, but take care of any muddling, take care of anything that you can't figure out. You know, if you scratch your head going, I can't figure this out. Oh, wait a minute, I better hold R3S and just hold it and let that and finish out how you can, because it just looks like a great path. It's just lit up. That's all I can do.
What I had the same feeling that it was an angel that went over and went doink. And then, just thinking about that, I got the sense that it might be connected to Archangel. It's either Gabriel or Gabriel. It could be, depending on the
Male or female. Yeah.
masculine or feminine. But that was the angel that came and delivered the news about Jesus to Mary and Joseph, and whenever they're no, not Mary, her cousin Elizabeth. That was the angel that came to deliver the news. So it's a really cool. I'm not saying that it's about time to have a baby. It's about the voice.
She's afraid that God's going to deliver a baby to her, and she's like, I don't want no babies. But it is just a really cool messenger on behalf. I don't want to say the voice of God, because that's like the seraphim and the Metatron and that kind of thing. Yeah. But it is more of a messenger that we'd be open to receive, is what I want to say. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it came to you on a very comforting, balanced male and female energy. So I was just asking to tune in who is it? And they said it was not one that's usually just named, but it's one that's like works with you. It communicates more with your spirit guide.
No. Okay.
You know, and there's some really interesting angel names out there, but there's more than just what we have written, because we're going to be opening up to a whole new realm of information. So we're going to have more angels, more stuff, more of this stuff from the other side coming through that's going to be bigger than what we have now. We just don't know what it looks like, and we're learning to conceive it, and long as our reality starts fitting our definitions, you know, but we got to break those definitions so we can really bring in more of the knowledge. Or you can get doinked in the head like you and just be open.
It's funny because I'm one of those people that doesn't really connect with the angels.
Surprise! Yes, you are.
I mean, in the sense that, you know how other people, you hear them talk and say, and they just sound like they have such intimate relationships, and that they just know
You'll
so
get
well.
there.
And I've never really, I know there's something, but to me it's...
Have you found feathers yet?
Say what?
Have you found feathers yet?
What do you mean, outside?
It don't matter. It can be inside, outside. Little tiny feathers. You know, I mean, it's...
Even from your pillow.
Even from your pillow. Now, the funny part is yes, my husband's a chicken man, so he's got chickens and ducks and all this. But I will find, it'll be the strangest place. All of a sudden, I will find a white feather, and I'm thinking, we have no white animals. Or I'll find feathers that are just in the corners of a room, and I'm thinking, where did that come from? And those are usually little tell signs.
Oh, anything with the house pets.
Yeah.
So, see, that's not going to be believable to work for me because I have a white bird in my house.
Oh, well.
Oh, so I mean,
Maybe it'll be a blue feather.
You know what I mean?
True, okay. But you can communicate. Like when I first started to learn about tell signs, I said, all right, fine-tune me by giving me something that I understand and that's believable, that I can conceive. And little by little, I would get the strangest thing going, I'll be damned, and I'll be damned. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I got to stop saying I'll be damned. I'll be blessed. I'll be blessed. And then I started noticing that what I was picking up was a very consistency of strange things. But they got my attention, and I realized that that's what they were doing. Because again, I asked, and I have to stop saying no. I have to say, oh, wait a minute, yeah, that's a possibility. So Jen just picked a card.
I was inspired to pick an angel card. So,
Good, because I was going to tell you.
the Archangel Haniel, this is from Doreen Virtue, and that's the sensitivity. You're extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
it's a confirmation.
If the energy sometimes is hard to handle, I would tell you to take a salt bath. The kind of salt bath would be the Epsom salt bath. And another thing is you can take the Himalayan salt and use it as a bath, or the Himalayan salt, put it in a spray bottle and spray around you so that your space is cleared from the earthly vibrations, because sometimes they will interfere with the higher frequencies, and you're learning to plug into a very high frequency, and you can't just connect or you'll get burnt out. So you have to get used to it. It's like as soon as you get here, used to that sound, another sound will come. You will end up learning to build up to that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. You don't really need to smudge. If you had a bobble wand, I would tell you to change the frequencies in and out every now and then. The pendant, they want you to, if you wore a pendant or a charm, something that you can infuse an intention of being blessed, and you can like tap it and pretend like it's a cloak going around you. Use your imagination because they like to do that. I'm going to walk over to my rock section and see if you have some garnet, because garnet is resonating with you. It helps with the first chakra so that you can stabilize and bring more in existence of what is happening. It says it's a stone of health, extracts negative energy from the chakras and transmuting the energy. Change one's world by producing both expansiveness in awareness and manifestation. Enhances one's internal fire. stone of commitment to purpose, to others and oneself. Helpful in abandonment, balance and stimulates development and movement of the Kundalini, stimulates the base first chakra and the seventh to provide free flow of movement, and distributes the energy to each portion of the body, helps the nervous system, spinal and spinal fluid, bones, cellular structure, composites, heart, lung, blood, repairing prevents damage of the RNA, DNA structure. God, I need to wear this. Okay.
Wow, I'm telling you.
That was huge.
Not do.
It's interesting. But anyway, if you wore the pendant, wear it over your thymus. You can even have some dangling earrings, or just put it in your pocket or in your bra. But those are little things that can help.
A necklace. I can't remember where I got my garnet necklace from.
Offline somewhere. Good
yeah,
price.
It was a good price. Anyway, but yeah, so it's a not a choker, but like that kind of style instead of like a pendant.
Mm-hmm. But
it's very protective.
But anyways, you're just learning to operate with new frequencies. So there is a lot of things you can do. I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I
dear.
appreciate it too. Okay.
Keep in touch.
Bye-bye.
There's a lot of info there.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have the archives up soon on TuneDeck and on YouTube. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
All right. Have a
We'll
good
see
night.
you.
You
Thanks.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
And for those of you, when you go to TuneDeck, it is TuneDeck MWR. So when you go to tindeck.com/users/MWR. Isn't that what you always go to as MWR or
I'd have
MW
to look
Reveal?
it up. Oh.
Oh, we'll have to
I
look
have
it
to
up.
look
On
it
this
up.
commercial, we're going to go look, okay?
Okay, we'll be
Right back.